Hello, our group is composed by Amaya Furundarena, Milan Todd, and me, Patricia Sanz, and we are going to present the Moët Hennessy Spain case. First of all, we are going to focus on the diagnosis of the company. Secondly, we will analyze the problems with the possible solutions. And finally, we will explain the conclusions that we have reached during the case. First of all, regarding Moët Hennessy vision, we have to say that Louis Vuitton Moët Hennessy Group preserves a family spirit that places priority on long-term vision. The group vocation is to ensure the development of each of its houses while respecting their identities and their autonomy, providing the resources needed to create, produce, and market their products and services through carefully selected channels. Moreover, it is also important to mention that the three fundamental values articulated by Bernard Arnault are shared by every member of Louis Vuitton Moët Hennessy. These three imperatives inspire excellence and constitute the pillars of their performance and long-term success. According to the mission of the group, we have to say that Moët Hennessy's mission is to increase the value of Moët Hennessy's brand and transform it into a professional distribution company. In addition, the mission of the company is to build a portfolio with a higher price average and to focus on a specific customer and on a specific profile of trade. And finally, to become the most effective marketing and distribution company of super premium products in Spain. Regarding the values of Moët Hennessy, we have to say that there are three principal values of the company, which are be creative and innovative, deliver excellence, and cultivate an entrepreneurial spirit. Finally, according to the core business of the group, it is high-end wine and spirits business and an international professional distributor. On the other hand, regarding the Diamond E framework, we have analyzed, first of all, the management preference, which is a mechanistic and organic model based on effectiveness and efficiency with a formalized control system. Regarding the organizational structure of Moët Hennessy, it has a divisional organization with 5 different departments, which are the Executive Committee, the Finance Department, the Marketing Department, Operations Department, and finally the Sales Department. And we can appreciate the graphs of each department in the following slides in the PowerPoint. According to the resource of Moët Hennessy in Spain, we have to say that there are around 40 employees which dominate, and the group is dominating the Spanish champagne market. And as I have said previously, there are 5 different departments. Finally, regarding the current strategy of the company, the Chief Executive Officer, which is Ramiro Otaño, had changed the company's distribution strategy, its route to market. As Moët Hennessy was supplying distributors and not directly retailers, the company had no control over the brands or the pricing strategy. Thus, for that reason, the new CEO decided to eliminate these intermediaries and directly supply large volume customers as well as those important for Moët Hennessy's image, such as, for example, wine stores. All these changes in strategy and route to market went hand in hand with a total restructuring of Moët Hennessy to transform it into a more professional company. To support all these changes in route to market strategy, the sales department was very restructured several times during Otaño's tenure and was the most radically redesigned functional area at Moët Hennessy in Spain.
Okay, so I'm Milan and I will be talking about the 4-cap model. For its first segment, the sense-making segment, the customer quickly realized the need for a global distribution network, and they restructured the whole sales department, and they specialize in volume and in image. And for volume, they specialize in, for example, large clients like supermarkets or wholesalers, and for the image specialization, customers who are important for the image of the brand, for example, wine stores or hotel bars or restaurants. And they organize by type of trade channel instead of geographical regions now. For its relating segment, which is mostly concerning people, they need a common culture and interdepartmental relationship between people, because there's language barriers, there's cultural differences, different working hours for people, And also the standardization made less of a sentiment with the workers, and the company lost its family spirit and has become more standardized. Also for the people, there's no HR, so in case of an issue, everyone is responsible for their direct boss. And also another problem and issue is that there's a high rate of turnover for employees because there's no future possibilities and it's not stable. And the number of employees stayed the same since the beginning, and it's around 40 people. For the inventing part, the move is to simplify the portfolio and to stop the distribution of the low-end products and only focus on the most profitable and high-end brands and products. For the visioning segment, they want to change the company's distribution channel, the route to market channel, to eliminate the intermediates and to supply directly to retailers instead of distributors, to have control over the whole brand and to have control over the pricing system. And for the archetypes, we were looking at two in particular. The first one was shifting the burden. The main problem at this archetype is that they don't speak the language, there's language barriers within the company and cultural differences. For this, they try to solve the problem with a short-term solution that was to take them on team building trips. But the side effect is that even on these trips, within the company and the employees, there were different clusters, so they couldn't cooperate. So the long-term problem or the long-term solution we were thinking about is that they could learn a common language, which is Catalan. And the other archetype we looked at was escalation, and for this archetype we looked at another champagne brand, which is Armand de Brignac. And the main takeaway or the problem is that when Armand de Brignac's sales go up, this is a market share threat to Moët Hennessy. Therefore, they can, for example, cut prices, and therefore their sales go up, which is a threat to Armand de Brignac, and then they will cut prices and then their sales go up. So this is just a circle.
Although the process of professionalizing helped the company gain efficiency and was the base of its expansion and net profit growth, it brought several negative consequences to the company. Employees argue that the most significant ones include the loss of the company's human touch, with the work environment becoming too structured and hindering interdepartmental relationships. Moreover, some stated that these dry relationships were aggravated by the lack of automatization. This is, some departments not filling the necessary forms or following the standard payment procedures, whilst other departments argued that those automatization processes only worsened the work environment, being the basis of the interpersonal touch. It is undeniable that the decision of going from being a winery in the middle of the vines to an open space in the center of Barcelona was bound to bring multiple changes in the company. But what could be done, though? Well, most agree on the need to establish a common organizational culture, one that is clearly stated, unifying once and for all the entire workforce. This not only would reduce philosophical and cultural differences, but could also ease interdepartmental disputes. Furthermore, we believe the company should invest in team-building activities. Although they already perform a few formal events for MHE staff to meet during the year to facilitate information sharing, they seem to be ineffective, with obvious interdepartmental clusters. Hence, we believe the company should arrange seasonal team-building events with the company specialized in said activities, reducing the risk of having staff divided into department-centered groups. Encouraging them to mix and interact with other departments and creating mixed teams could also be a good idea. Similarly, the company should consider introducing continuous training mechanisms where employees receive not only latest methodologies based on their own role, but also based on the roles of other departments, having at least a basic knowledge of how the others work and what their tasks include, and therefore encouraging them to perceive things from several points of view and reducing the aforementioned rivalry. Lastly, communication is essential. Therefore, monthly meetings could benefit them. Putting everything on the table and discussing issues such as payment procedures and form filling and trying to reach to an agreement that benefits both sides is the key for a smooth relationship. In conclusion, we believe that some, if not most, of the problems could be solved by creating a common culture and values and implementing them throughout the company, along with regular team building exercises and open communication.